Hi everyone. It's been a while since I gave my last update. It's been pretty hectic actually these past few days, weeks, I guess, by now, with this whole coronavirus thing going on. And I've just had so many plans changed last minute. And it's been insane, to say the least. But now I'm kind of stuck, as I guess most of you are. And I decided to just go and work on another little Laura vlog. And I wanted to take you guys back in time to the 15th of June, 1996. The whole rail is hanging full of washing, and now it's raining. Great. Laura is playing in her bed and happily babbles to her surroundings, but only when the door is closed. As soon as we open the door, she stands at the bars and wants to have our attention. Where does she get all this energy from? She keeps throwing out everything from her bed without tiring. She crawls through the whole boat and she eats mountains of oats and mashed potatoes. The last 2 months, she has just grown like weeds. By noon, we hop into the dinghy and take a ride ashore. We are lucky and find a place to park the dinghy right in front of a takeaway Chinese and a local man who is selling passion fruit juice for 20 cents. While driving back to the boat, there's lots of people standing on the bridge looking down at us. Laura is standing at the bow of the dinghy and is laughing and happily yelling at the people around. The local people love babies. Wherever we come, Laura gets grabbed out of her hands straight away and gets cuddled and kissed. We don't get her back until we really need to leave. A white baby is something very special for the people here, and when we are in the city, we do kind of feel like the caretakers of a queen. 16th of June. It is so hot on board. We almost can't stand it anymore. So Ron cuts a hole in the deck and mounts the second-hand hatch we had bought in New Zealand. Now a nice air is blowing through the boat. That was a good idea. And cutting the hole was quick and easy, but making it all nice and neat again on the inside is so much more work. I am sitting in the cockpit and finally get to write all of the letters to our parents and family members and friends. Laura is sleeping, and that evening we sit in the cockpit and roast our meat in a small barbecue. It's calm and the small waves splash against our hull. Well, like this the sailor's life isn't so bad, right, Bobs? Says Ron. It's the anchor life, Ron. It's the anchor life, I correct him. And we both need to laugh. 17th of June. It's a public holiday in Fiji today, and so a holiday for us as well. Swimming, reading, playing with Laura. Radio Suva talks high appraisal of Koki the clown on the island, and I quickly remember the new magic trick that Ron's parents had brought me. I need to keep practicing with them. After all, I wanted to check the hotels if I could do some clown shows tonight. 18th of June. It's hot and rainy. On the other side of the island there's always sun, so we're thinking we need to move out of here. 19th of June. Our friend, Mr. Pick, in his sailing yacht Mara, is coming into the anchorage. His junk-rigged sails are torn and look really old, but he coolly says that the sails will still make it to China. Other friends of ours, Casey and Randy with baby Flora, had a lot of damage on their yacht from the short storm that came over on the 12th of June. The yacht had a leak, the engine was broken, baby Flora had a high fever, and Casey was feeling terribly seasick. They have had enough of sailing, and they're going back to their home in Alaska. 20th of June. Ron hoists Laura up in her backpack, and off we go to the Fijian Culture Center. Laura loves being in the backpack on Daddy's shoulders, and Ron patiently puts up with his daughter plucking on his hair until she gets a firm hold and uses it as a handle. We allow ourselves another 20-cent juice at the bus station until we keep going on the overcrowded bus. I managed to find a seat with Laura on my lap next to a big-boned Fijian lady who immediately grabs Laura out of my arms and almost squishes Laura in her enthusiasm. By now, Laura is pretty used to being cuddled and held by so many people. The entry fee of the Culture Center has been raised from $2 Fijian to $9.50, thanks to the many rich tourists. For this money, we get to see the culture and history of the local people and a monkey. Just before we want to leave, I get a snake around my shoulders and an iguana dumped on my head for a photo. On the side of the road, we wait for the bus while Laura eats a papaya for lunch. 21st of June. So, after I had hit a wall in Panama at full speed in our dinghy with a 10 horsepower engine, I decided today that I might have to have another look at the monster. Because Ron doesn't want to go on land quite as often as I do. He explains everything for the umpteenth time. Mostly because it's really an old outboard engine and Ron had to glue pieces together in New Zealand so it wouldn't fall apart completely. Every time we want to start the outboard, we have to take off the cover and manually do the windings of the pull cord and then pull like crazy and hope it starts straight away. I am exhausted before I even get to take off. But okay, here we go. To be safe, I will make a trip without Laura first. I make a few rounds, and then decide to bail out and head back to the boat. Mostly because if I would want to go on land, I had to go through this narrow passage with current, and when you don't pay the utmost attention, it's very easy to hit the reef with the engine propeller. The water is very shallow here. So I told Ron I didn't want to go on land anymore, but I don't think he believed me. So, yeah, my mum and driving dinghies did not go well together. She vividly remembered and told me this story of hitting this wall in Panama. Like, she apparently just, I don't know what happened, but she just drove full speed into this concrete wall or whatever it was. And the dinghy just, like, folded double. And at that time, they still had a dog, and the dog was probably sitting in the back of the dinghy and just, like, got lounged out and flew into this restaurant. And I don't think she's really driven a dinghy since then, up until this point in the story, where she decides that she might need to try it again. But yeah, no, it's amazing hearing these stories of them firsthand. So, although she did do a really good job writing it as well, I think. So, I hope you enjoy that, and thanks for listening. See you next time. Bye!